We are going to start by flooding some cookies tonight because we've got some details that we need to get done on top of the flood. So we're going to do that to start. So if you have any questions, please let us know as we go along, and we'll get them answered for you. Let's get going. I'm going to start by flooding a few cookies because we're going to do some painting tonight on cookies. So I've got my flood white ready to go here. So I just pick a point to start on the cookie, and then we're just squeezing as we touch down, and around we go. I'm trying to hold the bag out of the way for everybody because I noticed last week when I was watching the video that sometimes the bag got in the way. So I'm trying to keep it off to the side for you so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. So last week was pretty exciting because we reached 5,000 likes on the page, thanks to everybody here. And now we're over 5,100, I think, which is amazing. So thank you everybody so much for that. Do I hold my bag like a pencil? I tell everybody not to do that, and here I am doing it tonight. I'm just trying to keep my hand out of the way for everybody so you can see it a little bit better. We'll see how long this lasts. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and fill this in now. So this is a pretty thin flood consistency, actually a little bit thinner than I'd like, but that's okay. So we'll just go around and fill this in. So I think over the next few weeks, as we're decorating cookies, we're gonna do some puns.
Some puns.
Puns.
We're gonna get like, a little silly.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little. We're gonna get a little bit silly.
A little silly here.
And we're going to do some puns because they always seem to be popular for Valentine's. So we're going to do a little bit of that, including tonight. But I'm not going to give it away quite yet. You're going to kind of see as the night progresses what we're going to do here. Hi, Naomi from Springfield. How are you? Miriam, your friend Brenda is here. Oh my goodness. How are things in Puerto Rico? You guys have had a rough go there. Oh my goodness. Miriam was sending us pictures of some of the damage from all the earthquakes that have been happening. Pretty crazy. So I'm kind of filling my cookie in a little bit funny tonight. Usually I just kind of follow the shape around the cookie and flood it in sort of in more of like a circular motion. But sometimes when the cookie permits, like if it's a thinner piece, I'll actually fill in the whole piece before I move on to the next bit. For some reason, it just makes more sense in my head to do it that way. Okay, so we're gonna get to a tiny bit of painting. So this is where our fun, bright, and a little bit more wild comes into play. I feel like you can't really go wrong mixing all these things together because it's going to be a lot of fun. So I've got out a little paint tray here. And the cactus that we did earlier. I'm going to get rid of this mess for you so we don't have to look at that. Okay, so for painting, I am just using gel color, and I added a tiny bit of water to it earlier. I might need to add a bit more as we go here. Okay. You love Chef Master Moira. I only have a few of them, so I need to try a few more, but I haven't really had any issues with the ones that I do have. Oh, thanks, Becky. Okay, so I've got some paintbrushes off to the side. Okay, so I'm using mostly flat paintbrushes for this. And I'm gonna start with the bigger one here. So we'll know pretty quickly if I need to add more water to this as we go, but so again, this is just gel color. And a tiny bit of water. And I'm not looking for perfect coverage here. I want it to be a little bit transparent. If I was looking for it to be full on certain color, I would probably have flooded it that way. So I'm just putting on some color, and I'm going to try and wipe off a tiny bit of it, because it's just a little too full of a color for me right there. And I'm just kind of rinsing the brush a little bit off to the side. Okay. And then, so that was a red, and then I'm going to go in to a yellow. You can see this color off to the side here. So I'm kind of putting some on, and then I'm taking it off a little bit. And I want the stripes to be uneven. I don't want them all to be the same thickness. I'm not super fussy if there's white in between. I kind of like that here. Okay, and then I've got that electric green. And it's just in a little paint palette off to the side here. So let's go with the electric green. I'm going to do a smaller line of it up here. And I've got a brush that's not as wide, I think. Because like I said, I don't want them to all be the same width. Kind of blend them in a little bit together. So I'm not using Everclear here like I do. Sometimes you'll see me using Everclear. Generally, I'm using Everclear when I'm doing watercolor because Everclear does its own thing. It sort of spreads in a way that looks more like watercolor, and you don't have that time that you do if you add a tiny bit of water instead of the Everclear. It gives you a little bit more time to paint because Everclear dries so quickly. Do I ever do watercolors with your airbrush colors? I haven't tried that full on, Jadine, but if I do, I've done it in little bits before, but I still use Everclear with the airbrush color. Are you using airbrush color or icing color? This is gel color. I feel like I need a less of a wide brush, but we'll make do with what we have. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of blue. So I've got a navy blue gel color here. Okay, so that's navy. I forgot to take that green across. Again, not looking for anything straight and narrow here. I just want it to be kind of fun and playful. Hi Jean, how are you? Happy Friday night. If you are new here, welcome aboard to the Emily Mays Crazy Town Cookie Lookie. We love to see if you're new. If you haven't told us already.
Say hi and tell us where you're watching from.
Yes. We're doing a bit of a fun, sort of like wild theme tonight. Not wild in the sense of the safari, but sort of like a mix of different design
Eugene.
Okay, I'm just continuing the color over to the side because I forgot to do that initially here. So some pieces here I want to look like more of a wash. And I forgot, I wanted some hot pink here. I'm just gonna run and grab it and I'll be right, actually, I can use this one. It needs a little bit of pink in there. And I've got some orange here too, but I think I like the idea of the pink. Okay, so let's put some pink down here, and we'll put some here.
Hey, Sarah from Utah. First time watching.
Thank you for watching. I was in Salt Lake City,
Oh, yeah.
Utah. First time at CookieCon, and that's where JD and I met officially.
Hey, Cheryl from Australia.
Australia.
I have a terrible accent. I'm sorry.
Oh, welcome, Cheryl. How are you doing over there? Oh my goodness.
They got a lot of rain in some parts today.
Oh,
I saw,
really?
so that
Oh,
was
wow.
promising.
I'm sure that's a relief for some areas. Crazy things. Okay. So we need a little bit more color here. So I've got an orange. I think I have orange, so I'm going to put some orange in there. There we go. And I want some orange up here too. Looks like those blankets from Mexico, Moira. That's exactly what I was going for. So thank you. I'm glad you recognized that because that was kind of what I was aiming for. I'm glad you saw that. You're 30 minutes from Salt Lake. It's so beautiful there. Kel that works here, she and I went and had a walk around the one day, and when you fly into Salt Lake City, the mountains are just beautiful. Okay, what do we think? What do you think, Nick?
I like the colors.
You like the colors? So I'm just kind of going in now with a bit of a dry brush and just kind of blending them just a tiny bit in a couple of areas. Because like I said, I don't want this to be perfect. I just want it to be kind of fun and not so straight. I don't want the line so straight. You just have to be careful you don't add too much water, because if you do, it'll start eating away at your icing and leave you with not such a nice look. So I have to be careful here I don't play too much. So that being said, I think I'm going to leave it at this point. Moira, you nailed it. Yes, Orison Gigi. How do you say, is it Gigi? Orison Gigi. It's like a huge like bakery restaurant supply place there. It's amazing. They had a private party for us there the one night, and it was so much fun with nachos and everything. Okay, we have to do that one more time.